Welcome to another installment of Weekend Alchemy for April 27th to the 28th. Solarah here. I hope you guys are all doing well. I am about 2 hours out from my Mars Tarot Astrology group Q&A, so I'm looking forward to seeing a few of you there. And it just seems very fitting that this message is coming through at this time. And it's showing me also why my guides were very specific about catering to the Mars energy this month in accordance with what is actually happening, which I'm seeing with a lot more clarity now. So the title for today's article is Mars in Aries is bringing back the energetic protections we need to no longer be harvested. As we make our way through this corridor that takes us into the new moon in Taurus, we are receiving activations that align our electromagnetic settings in accordance with what we have chosen for our next cycles. When Mars moves into Aries in a few days, the appropriate energetic protections will be coming online to ensure the proper alignment with these settings. Everything that is occurring, planetarily speaking, is assisting in our ability to reestablish our full energetic sovereignty. This is properly sublimated by the adjustments made to our energy fields that will promote the moving into a new story for some and the repetition of the same old storyline for others. What is important to understand and overstand is that the planets, the constellations, and the zodiac wheel are intricately connected to the mechanics of our energy fields on all planes. This is how and why astrological transits can have such profound effects on our spiritual, mental, emotional, and material experiences. Our infinite or etheric existences, our minds, our souls, and our bodies are all intricately wired into the movements of our solar system and the planetary grid lines. As the sun moves through Taurus astrologically, it is actually making its way through Aries in real time. This means that both signs are heavily involved in the processes and activations of this season because we are mentally and emotionally tuned into both of their energies as a collective. Mars is stepping up in the expression of its power in the aftermath of the recent eclipse. As a planet which helps us to attune our energy fields into settings that promote our frequential protection, the role it is playing at this juncture of ascension is big. In some ways, it is responsible for returning the proper energetic boundaries and frequential barriers that are necessary for all life forms to live in harmony and in accordance with their frequential truth, or what they are choosing to hold vibrationally, regardless of how high or low that vibration might be. In this sense, Mars is assisting in the unrolling of divine masculine energies and principles that are designed to protect and defend our right to exist as we are, and for our creative energy and life force to be able to flow once again for the furtherance of our own evolution and that of the earth. In this way, it is also lighting up and activating those true divine masculine principles and energies within us too. Mars is the planet that helps us to rise and fight for our sovereignty and the right to be the wholeness of who we are while making sure that all beings are protected. As such, it is a planet that promotes and locks in the settings that repels what our frequency says it doesn't want more of, while ensuring the safe passage of what is flowing towards us that we are choosing, in accordance with the frequency we're holding, that is. What this means is that when we are at odds and war with self, which was the point of the trauma programs of the false matrix, we are holding a frequency that can potentially call in what adds to our suffering while repelling that which is bringing forward true solutions. If we remain at war with self, we keep on producing more trauma cycles and karmic patterns and lessons by suffering. This is where we see how our energetic settings were continually weaponized against us in the false matrix. Everything we were taught was for our good was actually engineered to put us in a schizoid state internally so that our magnetic settings drew in more war and our electric settings sent out the message from our fields that this is what we wanted to experience more of. This is also why heavily traumatized beings find it especially difficult to break free from these settings. Every act of trauma causes splitting. When nothing is done to bring resolution and restitution to these splits, they anchor in and trap the soul in lower vibrational settings, which call in more experiences that promote shame, guilt, and fear narratives. All the stories and cycles that further internalized war agendas. Trauma is one of the most effective ways to program our electromagnetic settings into the opposite of what they were divinely set up to do. The architects and promoters of the false matrix knew this about us and set up their world systems, institutions, and programs in accordance with this knowledge. They literally tuned us into all the modes and settings which would cause us to self-destruct and destroy one another. Ascension has been about us waking up and remembering not only who we are, but also how we function as electromagnetic beings. This is the key to us getting our true abilities back as conscious creators who are able to do all that we've been told is impossible. The truth is that nothing is impossible for infinite beings. Nothing is impossible once we recover the settings, modes, and wisdom which allow us to rise back up into our infinite truth and status. Mars is moving into Aries this week and assisting us in taking back the fullness of our own energy fields and mastery over them. But we can only do this for as long as we not only know who we are, but how we actually work and function electromagnetically. Ashe. For access to all of my articles and installments in full, please make sure to check me out on Substack at dailyalchemy.substack.com. For all of you who choose to become monthly or annual patrons, you will have continual access to these articles as they are published, as well as to the full archive of all my articles, decrees, as well as my works of nonfiction and poetry. Every month, my patrons also get the opportunity to connect with me in a group Q&A via video link. So if you feel that that would be helpful on your healing and ascension journey, please make sure to check me out on dailyalchemy.substack.com. Wishing you guys all a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.